Hi, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your July 2023 new moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps my channel be seen by the YouTube algorithm, and it helps me out tremendously. So, thank you so very much for doing so. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see the energy we need to be mindful of during this new moon in Cancer on July 17th. And it's at 24 degrees 56 seconds of Cancer. Angels and spirit guides. Here we have the hangman reversed. It's going to have us seeing things differently, and it's going to have us seeing things differently again. And we have to remember, this is a very powerful new moon. Cancer is an extremely sensitive sign, and it's an extremely sensitive time for us. It is a sign and a time of kindness and empathy and nurturing, but it also is representative of the crab, right? The the crab's skeleton is on the outside, so it has to shed its skeleton in order to grow. And so there's going to be this sense here of I'm stepping out of what was once comfortable for me and my comfort zone, and I'm embracing something new. So we're seeing things differently again, and that can be throwing us off course. We can really be questioning, how am I supposed to be moving forward? Or is this where I'm supposed to be? What is it that I really desire? And this is going to be an emotional time. And Cancer is all about emotional security. So do be aware of this because this is very powerful. Now let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. And here we have imagine reverse. We don't really want to be imagining. We want things to be kind of set up and structured and centered. We can be kind of annoyed with ourselves for things not being as proper. I'm just seeing it as like we want it to not be as whimsical. We want things to be very concrete. But the embrace of our imagination, Aries, is going to be one of the most powerful things we can do for ourselves to turn this around and give ourselves permission and give ourselves time to imagine, to look at things, to ask deeper questions. We're in the Cancer time period, both with the sun and with the moon. And so this is going to be a time where we need to look at things more openly, more honestly, more purposefully for ourselves. We need to imagine, and yet we're not going to want to. So just be kind to yourself with that. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Okay, so I know this is a lot Here we go. But this is really beautiful. So let's look at everything that's coming forward. And let's look at this time astrologically speaking as well. So we have the Five of Wands reversed. We're really not into the petty fighting, and we're just not going to be. Again, that very much plays in with the nurturing aspect of Cancer. Cancer is very much about motherhood. And motherhood in all its aspects and even its symbolism is a sign of powerful but also painful change. So here, we're really going to be looking at things with a lot more compassion. It doesn't mean that we have to be mothers or even want to be, but there's a sense of we're looking at things with a much more open heart, compassionate spirit, and desire for our souls. Now, Pluto has squared the nodal axis, and this is a pretty big deal for us. Now, the nodal as- mm, axis, there we go, it moves backwards. So from 29 degrees to 0. And what we have here is on the 17th, okay, same day as this new moon, we have our collective destiny, our karma is shifting. The new moon moves from Taurus and moves to Aries. This is big for us. And this south node moves from Scorpio to Libra. Now remember, these are sister signs. We were in the sister signs of Taurus and Scorpio. Now we're in the sister signs of Aries and Libra. We're very much embracing a much more Aries way of looking at things. This is a time where it's about our confidence, it's about our determination, our focus, our insight, our ideas. We're also moving into the cardinal Grand Cross, which is 29 degrees of Capricorn, 29 degrees Aries, equally 29 degrees Libra, and the new moon at like 25 degrees of Cancer. So this is an extremely powerful configuration, which is also action oriented, which is very much aligned with us. We see ourselves stepping into our own being with the Emperor, and then again with the Queen of Wands, which represents that mother energy from Cancer, right? But in the sign of the wands, fire sign energy, which is us, also embracing this nodal axis of karmic change, this fact that we're moving into a very, you know, action oriented, distinctive, powerful energy that moves us forward. Now, this has us taking authority of our own existence. Now, Jupiter is squared Mercury, which also brings big ideas and visionary energy forward for us. So that's going to be a really big thing. Neptune is trying the sun and the moon, which means that everything has to have deeper meaning. It just does. We're going to be finding that we're looking for the deeper meaning in everything, and everyone is looking for the deeper meaning. It's having that spiritual context of Neptune, the spirit, emotion, passion, desire, looking at the heart is going to be super important. With the Five of Wands reversed, we're moving away from a place of chaos. We're moving away from a place of petty arguments, of anger, of frustration. We're looking at the bigger picture. That's going to be very important to us. We're going to see people's pettiness. We're just not going to want to be involved in it at all. This is going to move us to a karmic shift, very much of, well, what is the greater good? What is the greater purpose? What is the responsibility I can take, not to, add on to anybody's anything, and even not to lessen anybody's load, but what is the responsibility I take in my life to not be pulled down into the pettiness of others? The Wheel of Fortune is the fact that we're seeing things very, very differently. We're going to be seeing that we're moving into a new season. Now, Cancer time period is, of course, the beginning of summer, right? And this new moon is a powerful summer new moon where the heat and the intensity, especially in the northern hemisphere, is powerful. And this is a time of setting intentions, of looking at our passions, of looking at what we desire. But also the heat is uncomfortable. You go outside, it's sticky and icky. And so here we're looking at, how am I transformed by my passion? And how is my passion transforming me? We're also going to be seeing that we're transforming from a place of being rather stuck. We were stuck, Aries. And with the Five of Cups reversed, we're coming out of a time period of feeling angry, feeling upset, feeling overwhelmed, feeling like I just can't get ahead. And now we're starting to see ourselves much more clearly, much more openly, and much more honestly. Now, this is also going to be very powerful, especially if we're born on the cusp with Taurus, because, not Taurus, I do apologize, with Pisces, because Pisces is ruled by Neptune, or if we have Pisces in our chart, because that Neptune energy, that deeper meaning that things have to have, we're going to see that here. But we're also going to see that we're moving towards a deeper meaning in our lives, not defined by anybody else, but really saying, what do I want? What do I need? Where do I need to be for me? And what do I desire? And it's leading us towards happiness. It's leading us towards love and connection. The Ten of Cups is, and they all live happily ever after. And that is beautiful. That is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful statement. What we're going to see here is that as things are shifting in our life, we're saying, what do I love and what do I want? What is my happiness? It doesn't have to match anybody else's. Actually, this is going to be a time where we're very community oriented. We can find that we don't want to be like that lone wolf energy that people always praise. It's not going to be that. It's going to be living in communities, living with people, can be living with extended family. Just a sense of love and connection is really going to be coming forward during this time. The happiness is in the home, and the home, this always makes me, and I know if you've been here for a while, you're going to be like, oh, Dane, here we go with the Nordic saying again. But I love the Nordic saying, better to be king of a cottage than servant in a castle. And though we might not have kings and servants, right, like that nowadays, we are servants to wanting more and more and more, for it being, better and shinier and brighter and pushing the envelope with things. So here with the Ten of Cups, it's being quietly happy. It's embracing our joy and our bliss and our passion. And it brings us to us. We're learning during this time, during this tremendously powerful karmic time, what we love and what we want, how we stand on the throne and we say, this is me. And this connects us with our heart. This connects us with our root, our passion, what we desire, what we're looking for in our life. There's an intensity to us during this time that can be overwhelming, but we're going to find that we're honing it in. We're honing ourselves in. We're looking at things so much more openly than we have before. And as we do so, we're going to see we're stepping out of our comfort zone. And this is going to be a time that powerfully has us step out of our comfort zone and say, can I embrace me? Do I know what I want? Do I know what I love? Have I been getting too complacent? And as we embrace what we love, we're going to be saying, yeah, I was held back out of fear, whatever that fear may be. And we start to nurture and we start to embrace a new dawn and a new day. We start to nurture what we desire within ourselves, but also we take on the duality of the sacred father and the sacred mother, right? The sacred masculine and the sacred feminine. We're finding that camaraderie, brilliance, and passion within our lives, even within the love. Here you have a couple, and it's a sense of the coming together of the sacred feminine, sacred masculine energy. We can be finding areas that we're moving towards love, and this isn't just romantic love. We're going to find this very powerfully during this time. It's not just about romantic love. It's about the love that we have for our world, the love that we have for humanity. And it brings us to this place of passion, to this place of determination, of distinction, of focus, of insight. And we start to claim our throne. We start to say, what do I desire? What do I want? What do I need? Where do I stand? What do I stand for? And how is this empowering me? It brings us to embracing our magic. It brings us to looking at things in a bigger, better, brighter way. We're looking at what we desire. We're looking at our creative energy, okay, that fuels us. And instead of feeling disjointed, because we have been feeling disjointed from it, we're going to start feeling inspired again. Little short bursts of inspiration are going to be just absolutely beautiful for us. The Queen of Wands is magic. She's magic, she's distinction, she's determination, she's passion, she's focus. And that's what we're embracing here. We're saying, how do I claim my throne? Embrace my authority, have things work in the waking world, okay, that has me claiming what I love, claiming what I desire, and leading me forward in my passion. We're going to have to be patient. And, that's not something that we're always good at, Aries, but it is something that we learn to be good at. This is going to be a time where we have seen, if I push it and I make it happen the way that I think it should happen, the repercussions are interesting, right? Or it doesn't work out entirely as planned. But if I step back and I say, I know what my soul, no, not I even know what my soul desires, because sometimes we don't. I'm discovering what I desire for myself, how I'm moving forward for me. And I'm waiting till the fruit ripens. I'm being proactive. I'm putting out there what I need to put out there. But I am embracing new passion, new ideas, new desires, and I'm letting them come forward. We're going to want everything yesterday, human. That's who we are. But to be a lot more compassionate to ourselves, to wait, to be kind, to watch it grow, to watch ourselves grow, and not be harsh with ourselves and think, oh, I haven't accomplished anything with my life. Instead of looking at things and saying, you know what, quieter, contented life can be a very beautiful thing. And it is a thing that people are starting to move back to, or some of us are starting to find why is simple bad, and starting to connect. And it brings us to the High Priestess reversed. This isn't going to be a time where we want to dive deep into the esoteric. Yes, things need to have a spiritual meaning. We need to feel a connection, but we're not going to want to dive deeper and deeper and deeper. Sometimes surface value, or the the way that it appears, that's good enough for us. So here, just know that we're not going to want to take that deep dive. But again, it does need to have meaning to it. Life is the it. We need to have meaning. We need to have purpose. We need to have connection. We're moving away from the pettiness. We don't need to psychoanalyze, why people are being petty or why things are going on. What we have to understand is that's the energy there. I need to move forward for me. And if we keep in our energy, if we keep in our insight, we're going to keep building ourselves. We're moving towards happiness. We're moving towards a place of patience, but contentedness. And we're moving towards a place of an empowered soul. So let's see what the moon has to say for herself. So this one first, or this one. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels. Okay. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Okay. So what's interesting is that our extra card is Libra energy in the upright position. And it says here, a new romantic cycle is starting. So that's very important for us. There's a sense of new love, new passion, new ideas. But as we're moving forward, this darkness, and as we're embracing darkness, we're seeing the nothing. We're claiming the nothing. And it says here, a win-win outcome is forecast. And as we're moving away from pettiness, we can really find that sometimes there are no winners. Sometimes there is just pettiness. And not everybody's going to win, or in some things we just have to walk away from. And that's going to be a very big thing for us to say, I walk away. I embrace my soul. I embrace myself. I see what it is that I desire, and I step into me. Now, it brings us here to begin with the story. And as things are changing, this new moon, it's interesting. So everything is changing. And it says here, beginnings. We're not really feeling like this is a time of beginnings, though a new moon is a time of beginnings, of walking through that portal. And it says nothing will come of this situation. Well, that's not true. We're going to find the void of course. We don't have to be as worried about the void of course as we might have been once upon a time, or we might usually be. I know people who plan things, around the void of course so that nothing really happens. And a void of course is just a short little time period throughout every lunar cycle. It happens multiple times where things do not go according to plan. So what we're going to see here is that actually you have more of a plan during this time and more of a way forward during this time than you usually do. And that's going to be kind of a big deal. But it's never going to go exactly according to the way that we wanted it to. So just be aware of that. There's also a sense that this isn't the time, like this isn't the day that all of a sudden, new seeds are planted, everything's moved forward. You have a lot of things on the burner already. And we're going to find that this is a time of transitions, of moving things forward, of weaving in different colors or different ideas, but it's not going to be a whole new beginning coming. It's not going to be a whole huge change. It brings us then to show the world the real you and resilience. We're going to find that we're carrying a lot. And we're really going to be looking at, do I want to be carrying this much? Do I want to be weighed down with this much? We don't want to show the real world, the real us yet. We're still kind of stepping back from that, which is very interesting because there's a sense of like, no, but like this is me, open, honest. And it's like, no, I'm going to curate, curate, what people see. I'm going to be a lot more selective with what I'm showing people or what I want people to know. So just be very aware of that the raw, open honesty, we're not really into it. And we can think, oh, that's wrong, but it's not, especially since we're coming out of a really harsh situation or intense situation where it's like, okay, you know what? I've been through a lot. Now I need to embrace me, to heal, to see what I desire. And it brings us then. And part of that tough situation was we were just a little bit too honest. We really were. And it says action. It's time to take action. When we embrace what we love, we embrace what we want, we're looking at what we desire. And it's time to release negativity. We're going to hold on to that negativity for a bit. So just be aware of that it's not going to be all sunshine and roses. The moon is telling us that we're holding on to things because we are growing, but it's a painful growing. It's a transformation, like a crab growing within its shell, exoskeleton expanding. So here we're going to take action towards what we want, but there's a sense of like lessons have been learned, and I'm not going to be a fool. I'm not going to be a fool and make the same mistake because I'm embracing what I love and I'm seeing me more honestly than I have before. It brings us then to your commitment is being tested and surrender both reversed. So we're finding it hard to surrender. We don't really want to. An emperor doesn't surrender. That's not what an emperor does. And that's not really in our personality to just surrender or to give up or to walk away from things. We can kind of stay at things long after we should. We can look back and be like, oh, wow, I should have left before then. But surrendering to others' energy or to others, that's not really our thing. Here, your commitment is being tested. It's not. It's not. You're seeing what you desire. You're seeing you. Your commitment to you might be being tested. But this is going to be a time where you can feel astoundingly energized, astoundingly empowered. And it brings us, to this sense of a time for healing and a time for abundance that we're stepping into. We were made for this time of healing, abundance, for this time of empowerment. It brings us to a release of fear. Time to give rather than take. Well, no, this is a time to release the fear and to nurture. We're not doing anything right now except watching the fruit ripen, watching things ripen, expand, become. So here, as we release our fear, we're finding ourselves. We're finding ourselves and we're embracing what we desire. And it says here, nothing is yet set in stone. Attraction. We're not really ready right now to dive deeper, to go deeper. But nothing is set in stone. We have to know that there's a fluidity, mobility, a beauty to our world. We have to be very mindful of our energy because this is going to be a time, this is a moon, where we can attract a lot to us, blessings or not. So just be aware of your emotions, your energy, what you're putting out, what's coming forward towards you. Okay? Brings us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of. This is the Tower reverse. We're rebuilding. We're coming out of a very hard time. This new moon, this time of introspection, this is giving us insight to how do I want to move forward. And we have to be mindful that it's been a rough road. It's been hard. It's been overwhelming. It's been chaotic. It's been a lot. So be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself as you move forward. Be kind to yourself as you're going after where you need to be, because it's been a long road of things not being secure, not being stable, not being, not being assured. And now we're starting to heal from that. But it can throw us off our game. And it can also throw us off our game that we don't always have to be on guard. We don't always have to be on the defensive. It moves us to our subconscious spirit message, which is goddess, the goddess energy. Whatever goddess means to you, however that is interpreted in your life, moving forward in that blessing, moving forward in that grace, moving forward in that connection, but also with Cancer energy. First of all, being ruled by the moon, which is a powerful, powerful thing. And we're talking about the moon right now, but it's the energy also of the mother. And so here, the goddess, however that is interpreted, it's like even with a never a mother goddess, right? There is that energy of being able to create. And there's a creative power moving us forward. I'm just seeing that strong connection here. So be aware of that. And again, it doesn't mean you have to be a mother. That's not the path for some people. It is the path for others. And it's not our place to judge. What it is here is to say, connect with the goddess energy during this moon. However, that is, interpreted in your life, connecting with that energy will open up doors. It brings us to our subconscious tarot message, which is the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands is us being a student during this time of the way that we need to move forward, of what it is that we desire, what we're looking for, what we're passionate about. This is also connecting with our creative energy. We're looking at things and consciously to the world. We are super in control, super in control. We have this. We really have this covered. Subconsciously, we're learning a heck of a lot. And we can feel like we're faking it till we make it. And that's what we're doing. But we're very much embracing our curiosity, our instincts, and our ideas. It brings us also subconsciously embrace your inner child. Don't think you have to know everything. This is also going to be a time with this Cancer new moon that we can really go back into old habits of things, like the old ways of taking care of everything. We want to take care of everything. That's what we want to do. We want to take care and keep it safe. Take care and keep it safe. But we can also be going back to trauma ways of taking care of things, or ways that we thought were helpful but really weren't. And we're going to think, oh, well, I'm taking care of it. It's like, no, we're not taking care of anything. So just be aware of that we can go back to old habits that either put too much on our shoulders, or, just aren't healthy ways of dealing with situations. So be aware of that. Our subconscious Luna message is the path. And then we have, don't let your past hold you back. So here, with the South Lunar Node is in Libra, all right? So we're going to be moving into that sister energy. And we can find that it's a bit of a challenge for us during this time to have that sister energy come forward. And here, we're going to find that our path, we're questioning it. We're thinking, what do I need? What do I desire? What do I want? How do I move forward? How do I get to where it is that I want to be? So just know that we're questioning our path, and we can feel very overwhelmed by things subconsciously with this moon. Okay. All right, Aries. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. So let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this moon and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aries. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye.